Good afternoon. It's Saturday. Lazy day for me. I talked with Rob a little while ago for, I don't know, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes on StreamYard. But I went to bed and I woke up kind of in the middle of the night for a while, stayed up a while, went back to bed, and then I woke up late. It was after 9. I'd missed a call from my dad, so I've talked to him. So I was just sitting here thinking, what am I going to do the rest of the day, and then start thinking about sports and stuff and my channel and what I'm doing. And I know, like with the 1975 season, I'm playing on Stratomatic that I'm getting some interest in that, and that's good. So that's probably going to be like a project I'm gonna. It's like might run the entire life of my channel and beyond, but I'll work at that here and there. But I wanna do something too to the voices out there that I think want something that's a smaller project, concentrated more on like a team or two. And I'm thinking as ideas. For instance, the 2009 season, you had the race which went to a game 163 with the Twins and the Tigers. Maybe doing something with that to like do on the side, put more of a focus on it. Shift the 1975 season is something I'll just kind of play, not just in between projects, but it's just an extremely long term project. It might be a couple of games a week. See, Bob is here with me. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Keith.
I was talking about my lazy Saturday and kind of what I'm thinking about doing going
Oh, are
forward.
you?
Yeah, the 75 season I want to keep going, but then I want to do some other things too that are shorter projects, things I can complete faster and stuff. And then just
Sure.
keep the 1975 is kind of like almost like the theme to the channel that'll carry on, you know, for the length maybe of my channel's existence or and possibly beyond, but just kind of keep coming back to it and try to get some
Yeah.
games and that played out. I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, um, but I want to talk a little bit about it and then try to find out what teams somebody might be interested in listening to or watching, focusing on. And I mentioned as an example, uh, like in 2009, the Twins and the Tigers played, and they came to a tie at the end of the season. And they had them play a game 163. So
Oh,
maybe I could do something where I just play the Twins and the Tigers,
No,
all their games.
don't do that. Don't be favorites to one team if you're going to play a whole season.
What do you mean?
Like, don't be like MLB Network, where it seems like all they show is Yankees and Red Sox games.
Oh, you're saying spread it around.
Yes,
Oh, well,
I mean you'll know which games do well, and always leave them wanting more.
so your suggestion is to like pick a game a day type of thing,
Yeah, I mean, or
and then
doing like
autoplay the rest
every
of them.
so many days. One of them too, something like that. Yeah.
Or maybe I could pick one team to do like all their games, and then pick one other game each day. So it'd be like 2 games a day.
That would probably be okay then.
Yeah. Or one team, for those that wanted to follow what one team will do,
Right.
and kind of have that continuity. And then sometimes they might be playing the same team.
Right.
Yeah.
so how you doing, Tim?
Doing okay, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I kind of want to stay away from the teams everybody else does to kind of get a different flavor, but yet a team that somebody would be interested, people would be interested in. So,
You
kinda
don't want to take all the World Series teams, but then again, if the Red Sox play the Indians, then it'll happen. But I just did it. Well, I wanted to do it the 2007 Indians game 89 like by 10 o'clock, but then stupid sleep thing came on.
Well, you're doing the 07
Indians, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I premiered a game at like 12:45, and thankfully Beatles Eternally was nice enough to kind of shoe some of his guests in there to kind of help me out. It's like, by the way, I got till 12:45 ish to try to get this done, and then finally he's like, he kind of sped through his game. There was still like 5 or 10 minutes left, and I was like, okay, we'll kind of hang on here until. Of course, once it's done processing, or done loading, then there was like a 8 to 10 minute processing that happens, so that they can probably issue through it and see if there's any copyright, things or anything like that. I probably won't get in trouble for this because I won't make any money off of it. But the pitcher Joaquin Soria came into the game. And his nickname up until 2011 was the Mexicutioner.
Mm-hmm. So, Tim, just so I'm understanding what you're saying, because, I mentioned something about doing a replay of a team or two, but then you're kind of like, don't do that. But
but the thing is, though, is
versus like you doing the 07. See, I'm trying to find out what.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, is you've been kind of doing it where you've been kind of playing games around. If you say that I'm now switching to doing this team's replay and I'll throw in others' games in, okay, fine. But yeah, from what you were doing, you've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to pick up like halfway through the season and just this team's doing the best, let's see how well they finish. You could do that too. But you're only on you're not even halfway.
Oh yeah. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I'll keep doing that, but it's not going to be like the only thing I do. It's like that could go on for 20 years. I mean, it'll just be kind of something I keep coming back to once in a while. This one I want to see what's going on, but I want to have something that goes faster,
Well, trust me, if I really wanted my replay to go faster, I would go back to my one game a series, but either that or I got to increase my internet.
Hey, Papa Ingabo.
What's that?
Papa Ingabo from Honolulu.
We're going to celebrate the many different
Oh yeah.
there are in this room.
In chat.
I'm making a lemon meringue tart with a
Well, it is 42 degrees and sunny out, and because it's so sunny out, the Cleveland Monsters had their outdoor game at the Browns Stadium canceled
to not leave the humidity.
because it's so sunny out.
Yeah, it's 73 and sunny here. It says sunny. Might be a tad overcast at the moment, but
And then they didn't feel like waiting until the night to play it. Okay.
The other end.
I have nothing. This is my tart shop, which I need to get in the
Papa, what you got going on?
No, not much. Just got a.
That's not the guy. That's fine, Pop. I mean,
Talking to the channel. Okay.
Simpson came a long way.
Ingabo.
I got Bruins and Rangers going on right now, and I got to
Everything is marvelous.
head out at some point. I got laundry I got to do, and then of course my car decides I'm coming home from trivia on Thursday to start acting up. Like I can, but when I hit the gas, it's real loud.
Papa's gonna go surf some waves. He says.
That's one thing you can do in Hawaii.
Yeah, the water stays pretty warm year round, I would guess, in that area.
Yeah, so I got to take it in and get it looked at on Monday. Need to get my laundry done again because I got the exterminator coming back on Thursday, so I need to get that done before I go take the car in case the car people have to take a couple days with it.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully it only takes about an hour to do a complete load at the laundromat next door. Either that or I could go schlep it up and down the stairs if it's free, but I don't want to do that.
Bob, are you listening to a recipe or something? I heard some woman talking about.
I just got the TV on. That's all. I'm not really watching it. I was well today. I just got my new phone today, and I've been fooling with that all day.
Smartphone or?
It's just a regular pay-per-view. I mean, prepaid phone.
Oh, okay.
My other one was ready. I was ready for a new phone. I had that for several years.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Motorola Moto,
Oh, okay.
and I was getting it all set up. It's all set up. Everything came over good
Mm-hmm.
from my old phone.
That's the one big pain in the ass for switching phones is having everything transfer over.
Yeah, I didn't want to change my number, so I was able to just put my SIM card in there, and everything came over fine.
Last time I did it, it seemed like it was like nothing at all. It was just like from one iPhone to another. The time before, it seemed like they had to hook it up to something and switch everything over. But now it's like
I went to my Google account and everything came over.
Well, that's what I had to do when I switched it over last time. Granted, this was because I switched from a damaged phone to a regular phone. It was the same phone, but it was a replacement.
Right.
Insurance. So, yeah. But I could probably use something with a better camera. But
yeah.
This one's got a nice camera on it. It's a Moto Pure. It's called. So I finally got it completely charged up. So,
Mm-hmm.
see how, because my old phone, this phone, it doesn't have a removable battery in it. It's all encased.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I had to put my SIM card in, you stick a little thing in there to pop this door out, and you put it in there and slide it back in.
Yeah.
Instead of opening the phone up and sticking it in there, and because I was doing a weird thing. I had an older phone, use the same battery because the phone I was using, it wouldn't charge. The charger thing wasn't working, so I had to take the battery out, charge it on that phone, then bring it over, put it back in this my phone so I could use it. That's why I got a new phone.
okay.
Sunny here in Beth 65.
Yeah.
Did you get a bad storm your way, Keith?
We haven't had that bad of weather here.
No. I know that bad storm was coming up through the south there.
Yeah, it went
last
north
night.
of us, I guess. I mean, we got a little bit of rain, but it wasn't nothing real bad right here.
You should have seen there was one guy that I follow on YouTube. He's in Pennsylvania. 70-mile-an-hour winds. I guess Northwest Ohio got it too because they had some down tree limbs. I should go out and look myself to see if anything happened. If not, I hope I parked towards the middle because one time I parked right on the edge on a bad windstorm, and thankfully the tree limb just went right to the left of my car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got super lucky. And then by the time I got home from work, it was gone. I said, I put it on Facebook. So you didn't take pictures? I said, it was 7:00 in the morning. I didn't want to take pictures. So, yeah.
I got the MLB TV in between innings. They show these things called baseball zen or something where it's like a real super slow mo of somebody's like hitting a home run or fielding the ball or whatever. and they have the sound effects like each step you can hear, shh, 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 and then when the bat hits the ball. Well, they show one of Choi, the first baseman of Tampa Bay, stretching out, does the splits at first base to feel the throw coming to him, and you hear the bottom of his cleats going.
You know, I was watching this YouTube thing.
Kind of a cocky guy to be doing the splits, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I was watching this thing on YouTube yesterday, where the Orioles in Pittsburgh actually played an inning without the umpires.
Half inning, yeah.
At the end of
Or
the
half inning, yeah. I said, what?
Yeah, well, it was bottom of the ninth. Technically the
game was over, they said.
Yep, and they wanted to get the Orioles pitcher some work, and so they said, umpires like, we got tea time.
They walked off, and the two managers agreed to continue playing.
Yeah. Yeah, the catcher was calling the balls and strikes, and
Yep. They probably called each other safer out. I'm like, gee, welcome to what backyards looked like in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it's just spring training. I mean, there's no reason to lie about it, you know. I mean,
no.
Makes you wonder. Well, they probably cancel a game if they. Well, I would assume that the umpires would all make their flights, and if they couldn't make their flights due to something, the game would get canceled.
Yeah,
I would hope.
Yeah, the players should have said, "Come on, umps, we're on pitch clocks and stuff now. You got time."
Yeah, they're saying that the normal times are down about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, summer afternoon and you know, you go enjoy myself for 3 hours. Like, well, get there a half hour before the game starts. You can enjoy yourself for 3 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
I was watching this one video of Max Scherzer on the Mets, and he's like trying to be sneaky about it, you know. Mm-hmm. He's been waiting until the player gets in and then automatically pitch it, you know, not letting the batter get set, basically.
They call him on it?
Yeah, he got called a balk on him.
Okay. Yeah, they'll get all that stuff worked out. I'm saying by May 1st, this will all be kind of water under the bridge. They'll play with it. They'll understand and
yeah.
Get all the kinks worked out.
Yeah, Rob kind of poo-poos it, I think, a little bit, or makes it sound like he doesn't think it'll last. And like,
well, he wants it to be
watching
the playoffs,
the games either.
Well, I can just imagine what it'd be like to play 2.5 hour playoff games or 2 hours and 45-minute playoff games. So that's part of the other thing is how long are the commercial breaks during the regular season and, you know, playoffs. I know any televised game like on Fox or TBS they add another 15 or 30 seconds for commercials.
Mm-hmm. It looks like they've pretty much decided for college football they're going to keep the clock running after first downs now, though.
I'm fine with that. They're worried about the number of plays that are happening per each game, and
well, there is like 140 to 150 plays a game in college football,
which kind of shocks me. There's
that's like 20 to 25% more than a pro football game.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It's like that's got to be way more than what happens in a pro game.
Well, the play clock is shorter, you know. I mean,
right. Yeah, let's say about a week or two, we should be getting into the spring football games.
Yeah.
Oh, for colleges,
yeah. And then we won't pay attention to them for another 5 months, and then in comes 4 weeks of misery, 4 weeks of or 4 months of or 3 months of us having our Tuesdays taken up.
Yeah, I mentioned to Rob, let's not do so many college football games every week. I mean,
Yeah,
because honestly, I mean, I mean, it's fun, but it just seems like it's like another college game, another, and then there's
Yeah,
so
no,
many of them. It's like,
yeah, no.
I don't know anything about this team or that team.
unless we want to cut it down to like the top 15, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because half the time I would just take a guess. I didn't know who was who.
Me too. I'm like, I ain't got time to sit here and do all that. So I'm like, okay. It's like the fantasy baseball draft. I'm like, I don't know half these people.
That's why I'm not doing it, because I don't know them.
Like, I mean, half of the Brewers I don't know. Like, when it comes to the relievers, I'm gonna be like, okay, since you had 35 saves last year, okay, I'll go with you.
Yeah,
I know Edwin Diaz and Emmanuel Clase, and that's about it.
yeah. The players I know are basically the ones that play on the Orioles. That's about it.
Yeah. And so I did some fooling around. It's like, Michael's probably going to be the one that wins it. He can spend all his time looking up all the players' stats and doing all that stuff.
I mean, I got the time too, but I'm not going to sit there and do all that.
Yeah.
Well, seems like Dave's into it too.
Yeah.
He's bought magazines and all this stuff.
Yeah. Rangers Bruins take a 3-1 lead. They may have their division locked up by about 2 or 3 weeks.
Who's that?
Bruins.
Oh, Bruins.
Oh yeah, I was watching that game earlier.
At first, I thought you said Brewers, and I was like, you don't think they have any competition for division there, Tim?
Even the 95 Indians didn't have their division locked up within the first couple of weeks. It took them a while to become the favorites. I'm still of the assumption now, even with as fast as the Dodgers did it last year, that in a 162 game season, no one is clinching by September 8th. If it's a shorter season, then maybe, but not in a 162 game season.
Yeah.
With the 60-60 rule, usually, 60 wins and 60 losses, and then everything depends on what you do in those other.
You think it's possible nobody wins 100 games this year? I mean, it's always possible. But do you think it's probable?
It's probable because of the fact that you're playing 6 less games against
your own
weaker division opponents.
Yeah. Yeah, you play 56 against your own division now. So
right. So essentially, you'd have to go.
Where it used to be 76, I think.
Right. You probably have to win 35 of those, or 40 of them, to even come close. Because then you play the rest of the teams in the league home and away one series, right?
Balanced after that, so then
yeah.
Well, at this point, if you're not going to have if every team's going to play each other, then realignment should be happening sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, the hell, just make it, like let's just say, hey, look, we're trying to be like football. Divisions don't matter. I mean, divisions kind of matter, but they don't. So let's have Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, Milwaukee.
You could have like 3 groups of 10 teams or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you had 10 teams in each league, and you could just have 3 groups of 10. You got
the 3 division winners and the 3 wild cards.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's 3 and 2 now. Right. No, that's right. It's 3 and 3. That's right. So yeah, it's 3 divisions, 3 wild cards.
You could as far as the schedule, I mean, shoot, I don't care if they play everybody or not. Honestly, I mean,
Nobody.
just
Yeah.
playing your own group of 10 would be fine with me.
Right. Now, there's some stuff they'd have to work out, but at this point, it's like, and then you have to realign of how many games you have to play against,
But they could have like the East Coast, they could have the West and to
Yeah.
Midwest, and then you could have the Central.
Yep. You could have more regional rivalries. I mean, hell, you already have the Guardians and the Reds playing 6 times a year, mostly. One home, or it's 4 to 6 times. Sometimes
you could take the 2 teams from Texas, Arizona, Colorado, the 5 California teams in Seattle. That could be a division.
Yep. Absolutely. And you cut down on a ton of travel if you made it where the majority were against those teams, and then
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh.
And then they could say, okay, Kansas City, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Philly, and Pittsburgh. They could, the 2 Pennsylvania.
Mhm. Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
Everybody else is kind of on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yankees, Mets would definitely having them more times a year. I don't think people would complain.
Austin,
Yeah.
Baltimore, Washington, Atlanta, Tampa,
The
Miami.
2 Florida teams.
Yeah.
Hell, RJ would still be happy if the Mets and Marlins still played each other. I mean,
2. Well, you got Toronto and I forgot who the other one was. Phillies and the Pirates just ended.
yeah,
I got
see,
the MLB TV thing. I was talking about that earlier. I watch it through
the nice thing is that from what I'm seeing,
Amazon Prime.
so Urinating Tree just did a nice little video on because of Warner Brothers Discovery and Diamond Sports, which is Bally and AT&T Sportsnet,
Mm-hmm.
essentially going bankrupt. What you could be seeing is
So I forgot. Oh, you put going back to what I was talking about. You'd probably put Philly in the East, and then I forgot about St. Louis.
yeah, it'd be interesting. You'd have to probably work something out, but no. So going back to the regional sport, what used to be the regional sports network,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be doubtful if they just decided, well, guess what?
Yeah, you froze up on me, Tim.
Okay, I'm still showing as being moving.
All right.
Okay, so
That last
what you could have is you could have where you could subscribe to an individual team's streaming thing. Or if MLB really wanted to do it, you could still have your MLB TV or extra innings thing. I don't know if they could still do that if each team had their own streaming and on demand, thing. That way, if you live in Los Angeles and you want to still watch the Cardinals, there's no will this game be blacked out or not?
Yeah.
Because that's the next thing that's got to go is the regional blackouts.
Yeah.
You're moving everything to streaming. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, we're going to a new frontier by April, when all this stuff, April or May, when all this stuff hits the fan.
When I first signed up for MLB TV, and the teams that I had that they were blacking out were like from Chicago, and I was like, well, what is that? Because I'm down here in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was something to do with wherever the office was or wherever the server was that was providing my signal. So that was like they figured those are like my local teams or whatever. So I
Yeah.
said, I live in Louisiana. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they switched it. And then I wasn't getting Houston and the Rangers, I think. And then but it seems like the Braves get blacked out on me sometimes too. But
To me, it should have been the same as the old rules in football. If you are not within 100 miles of that city,
yeah.
or 70 or 50 or 75 miles of that city, then
Yeah. And Houston and Arlington are both like 4 to 5 hours away, you know, and then Atlanta's further than that. I really shouldn't have any blacked out teams here, but
no.
they consider Houston my home, like my local team. So
No, I still remember when they had the old blackout rules that when the Browns wouldn't sell out because they had to sell 78,000 tickets. We'd get on the roof, try to finagle the antenna as much as possible, and then pull up the Toledo station, which we get somewhat of a picture, put it on mute, and then have the radio on. And
what it was for me though, I think is, you know, everybody pretty much gets one Fox Sports channel, and I would get Fox Sports like Southwest or whatever it is, which would carry Rangers and Astros games.
Yep.
So that's why I couldn't get it on MLB
TV because I think you can watch it at home. Okay.
Yeah, I can watch it on those channels. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. So I mean, we'll see. But yeah, no, it's kind of been a lazy morning for me, lazy afternoon.
Yeah, it won't be long, and people will pretty much have to stream things now. I mean, they'll have to come up with some budget type plans that people that are on low income can get something, but they might not be able to watch much in the way of sports.
They may just say, "Guess what? You're radio only now."
Yeah.
And wait till the news either late at night or in the morning to see any abbreviated highlights.
Last I knew, I can't get MLB TV anymore because I watch YouTube TV and their negotiation fell through.
Because of course it did.
Oh God, it hurts.
That was why half of the regional networks the people weren't happy about it because they didn't have agreements with Fubo or YouTube TV or any of the other ones, and like some of them were like, no, or the cable companies were like, I'm sorry, we're not making our customers pay $6, $8, $10 a month for this channel. See ya. That's why people in Denver can't watch Nuggets or Avalanche games because Altitude TV is banned from Comcast.
But like I can't on MLB if I had it, even though I live here in North Carolina, I can't pick up the Baltimore games.
No, that's considered your home. What do they call it, regional team or whatever?
I guess so. I mean, I can't pick up Atlanta and all the way up to Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, the Orioles and the Nationals are on Masson, aren't they?
Yeah. I have Masson, so I can watch them on Masson. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Masson 1 and a Masson 2. Because if they're both playing the same time, you can still pick up both games, but on different channels.
I gotcha. Boy, the Nationals, they were kind of like the Marlins back in the 98. They just let everybody go. They still have Strasburg, I guess, don't they?
The Nationals, yeah.
But he only pitches like 5 months out of the year. It seems like.
Well, I mean, he did what they signed him to do, which is win a World Series.
Yeah.
So,
Zimmerman's retired, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
First ever Nationals draft pick. Yep. From 2005 or 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Rendon and Harper and Soto now? They're all gone. Trey Turner.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're trying to go younger, and unfortunately, I couldn't name anybody on the Nationals now.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think I could either.
No, I couldn't either.
I couldn't name their star pitcher. I couldn't name anybody. So maybe I'll have to do that. Maybe that'll be the lowest for fantasy output. Although they did have the shoot, I wish I could remember the second baseman that came up, the young kid. He seemed to do okay, but they're gonna have a lot of young kids. Oh, so
Yeah.
they'll be.
And they don't. And the young kids that they call up, they don't care if they suck. They get a chance to play in the major leagues.
Well, now they'll be playing for a job, so now it'll matter.
Yeah. You get a chance to play at that level. You're gonna have fun regardless.
Yeah, it looks like my video's coming out. Of course, today's the last day for college basketball, regular season.
Was it Jeter Downs?
No, he's with the Red Sox, right? Or they
Shows
trade
him
him
on
to the Nationals.
Nationals.
Okay, so they must have traded him to the Nationals. Okay,
C.J. Abrams.
that's who it is. Yeah,
They've got Luis Garcia. They're showing both of them as 22-year-old shortstops.
yeah, I think they'll go with Abrams. Wouldn't take him any higher than like 13th or 14th round, maybe for a fantasy draft, because I don't know if he'll stay with them the whole season.
I guess. Well, they had at first. I remember that Joey Meneses. He played okay for a little bit, and they got Dominic Smith,
Yeah, okay, put of him.
Carter Keyboom, or Jaime Candelario at third.
Yeah, well, Candelario came from the Tigers.
Yeah,
Jamer Candelario, yeah. And then
you got Corey
Keyboom,
Dickerson, Victor Robles,
Robles,
okay.
And they
Alex
got
Hall, Stone Garrett, Lane Thomas, Jeremy De La Rosa. I don't know any of those guys.
they have one pitcher there's been a while.
De La Rosa is only 21. Maybe he'll be a starter.
World Baseball Classic begins on Tuesday.
Oh, yip whoopee.
Exactly.
I don't like that gets in the way of the spring training though, or it gets
Yeah.
away from their team.
I feel bad for the people in Florida. You know, they pay all that hard-earned money to go see the good players, and now they're all going to be playing in WBC.
And they're doing it when they're not really ready to go. I mean,
All right.
can't they do that in the fall or something?
Or do it in, well, do you want to do it in lieu of the All-Star game?
Well, I mean, they drag that out over like 3 weeks, don't they?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the problem then. I mean, unless you want to play it after the season.
I don't really care.
Well, what about this? You don't want to play it after the season because then there's players that'll be picked that haven't picked up a baseball in
Yeah.
a month. And then you have to do it in dome or warm weather stadiums when people are ready for football. So,
Yeah.
Oh, Carl Edwards Jr. is a national now.
okay.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
He was able to get the first couple outs in the World Series Game 7 that last inning, but
I'm watching the Lady Buckeyes. Okay. And they're losing by, the Indiana. So they're losing to a good team. Yeah, the top 4 seeds in the Big Ten women's tournament made it. So we're talking the 4 best team, 4 of the better teams. Well, Indiana, Purdue, Indiana, Iowa, and Maryland.
Yeah, once the Maryland moved out of the ACC, I haven't really followed them.
I get the Big Ten network, so I can sort of watch a lot of their stuff.
Right.
Too.
So, Bob, what were you playing? I keep forgetting.
Mr. Maker Golf.
History Maker Golf,
yeah.
and also got a thing with Inside Pitch kind of going simultaneously.
Okay.
I'll play one history. I'll play a golf tournament, then I'll go and play a couple games. It's 20 Oriole years. I'm playing them in like a season,
Yeah.
a shortened season.
Okay.
So like 54 up to 2016.
Okay. They had the 60s and the 70s were really good decades for them.
Yeah. That was when that was the that's starting in 66 and went up to about 71, 72.
Even 1960, I mean, they were like a second place team or something like that.
Yeah, they were in second place in 60. Yeah, something like that.
Well, hell, 61, they gave the Yankees all they could handle during that season.
Yeah.
Well, the Tigers did too.
Yeah, that
Tigers won over 100 games.
Yeah, and then RJL decided the one game that he did the 95 one and done, he picked one of the teams that the 95 Indians didn't play the greatest against, the Angels, and then in a one and done, anybody can be beat.
And the Angels won?
Yep. Although the Beatles played the 95 Indians versus his dead ball All-Stars, and the Indians won. So
yeah, the thing is the 95 Indians are against teams from other years, and that they're probably going to give up a few more runs than what those teams normally would have scored.
right. It's not well until they get to
Because there was just so much offense. All of a sudden, right after the All-Star break, or after the work stoppage.
Right.
Because it went from like really low offensive production in the very early 90s. Pitching was pretty much dominating there in like 90, 91, or 92. And then starting in 93, it started to turn a little bit. Boy, one guy that just looking at some of his strat cards where it seemed like he had some really good cards was Phillips, Tony Phillips.
You mean fielding or hitting?
Hitting.
You probably hit 270, 280.
But it seemed like he got on base a lot too. I mean, like
Yeah.
If you look on his card and it's like, damn, he's gonna get on base almost every time. Lands on his card. Seemed like one of those years the Tigers didn't have much on offense, but except for him. He was good with the A's too.
Yeah. So he's deceased now, unfortunately.
Is he?
Yeah. Tony Phillips died, I'd probably say before 2010, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
No, 2016. Yeah, so 50, just before his 57th birthday. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of like they're early to mid 50s. You wonder if they were taking care of themselves well or not. I mean, the greenies and all the other stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
You know, I was, of course, you guys know that Jerry Richardson died, and I was
yeah,
surprised. I was surprised he only played a couple years in the NFL. You know,
I didn't
he,
realize he played in the NFL.
he played for the Colts. He was a receiver
Okay,
Who was it?
in
the
the late 50s.
the
Football
former
league.
Panthers owner Jerry Richardson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he'd been sick for a few years at least.
Well, he took. They said he took all his bonus money and bought all these restaurants, Hardee's or whatever. And that's where he made his money from.
mm.
You know, I know he got in trouble late in his career there, but they say that he's the one that brought football to the Carolinas. You know, they say if it wasn't for him, they still wouldn't have a team down here.
Mhm.
There were some people that thought Baltimore should have had a team when they.
Oh yeah,
expanded
yeah,
to 5.
yeah. Yeah, once they because they had to pick, I forget what the name was. They had already had a name for it and all, and thought they were going to get it, and then they ended up not getting it.
And then they took
And
the
they had,
Browns.
and then took the Browns from you guys.
Well, I think part of it was Modell got short-sighted. There's a whole thing that I could bring up about that, but
Well,
it happened.
Irsay wasn't a good character himself because he said he wouldn't move the team, and all of a sudden, overnight, he was in a snowstorm. He was moving the team to Indianapolis. You know.
Mayflower truck.
Yep, the flower trucks. Ugh.
I mean, at least Baltimore did give you guys back the Browns name.
Yeah, that will trust me. I think they would have. The city, the fans, the team would have fought for it. In fact, there was a show in the '90s called Living Single, and one of the cast members was originally from Cleveland and a huge Browns fan. And even brought up in one of the shows, he gets a call from the league office. Goes, "Can you please stop calling to save the Browns?" So I like how they kind of worked that into him because God knows the Cavs weren't anything to. Well, 96 they made the playoffs, and 98 they made the playoffs, but this is still a Browns town.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I remember that I was living in Baltimore then when they moved them, and first few years they were called the Baltimore Browns, and
well, they want to be called the Ravens, and the first logo was they had to change because there was a copyright issue
oh, okay,
For which team?
for the Ravens. So their first logo.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Maryland flag or something almost.
I don't know what it was like, but they had to remove it. The bird looks like something that was,
It was
a
a
copyright, right? But they got it all worked out, and Browns got their team back. And
Yeah, I wish the Browns would just go back to those uniforms they had when Jim Brown was playing, and like they had in the '80s with the
oh yeah, with the
Regardless,
logo Cleveland on the front, just blank.
yeah.
the orange helmets.
Yeah, this is the
Nice.
all white uniforms with the brown numbers and the. Sometimes less is more.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah. Well, I also heard that the Panthers have been talking to Derek Carr at the Combine.
Who has been?
Huh?
Panthers been talking to Derek
Panthers
Carr.
have been talking to Derek
Oh,
Carr.
Panthers. Oh, okay. Yeah, he seemed like he was kind of impressed with the Jets. Like he had came out there wearing green and stuff and talking favorably about the team. Maybe he was just trying to get someone else to sweeten an offer to him. But
Probably
That could
so.
be too. Yeah, probably.
you think everybody's waiting to see where Aaron Rodgers goes, or
I don't think they can. At his age, I don't think.
I don't think he'll be moving any place.
Once again, he may be trying to sweeten an offer or something. I don't know.
Thing that gets me, these older quarterbacks like to stay in too long.
Yeah.
I mean, even Unitas did in his later days. He tried to lengthen his career.
And then we're talking like Joe Namath. Ending with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
You get all these players that who was their last team. Franco Harris with the Seahawks.
didn't Jaworski end with the Rams too?
He may have. But all right. Well, I figure I stop in for a little bit. I gotta go pick up one of my prescriptions. I probably still gotta call the doctor and be like, guys, I need all my prescriptions filled, not one. I listed all of them that I needed filled, and if they picked one, then I'm gonna be kind of
Right.
I might just call them up and get the real person to talk to instead of leaving a message. It's like,
Yeah. Usually better off that way.
problem was I kind of did it the mail order way the first time, and I had to wait for the doctor to. I'm like, I can't wait for that. I'm not running low, but I'll probably run out by the end of next week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right.
All right.
All right, Tim.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you later. So what you gonna do the rest of the day, Keith?
I don't know. Maybe just watch a little more baseball and see if anybody else comes on tonight or something. Maybe Rob will broadcast or something.
Yeah, maybe Rob will come on tonight or something.
Yeah. Have to find something for dinner.
Well, I had an accident this morning. My rollator, the one bar had I guess the weld broke off after all these years, and I thought I had fixed it by putting this piece of wood in there. I sat on it and I fell.
What was that broke?
This bar that holds the seat up, on my rollator.
Oh.
And I sat on it and I fell right down and I hurt my tailbone. It still hurts.
Oh.
It feels like my right there above above your butt,
Yeah.
it still hurts. The piece of wood I stuck in there just is broken. I went down.
Mm.
I thought it was going to hold me, but it evidently didn't. I'll have to get a new rollator, I guess, eventually.
Mm. So what are you gonna do though?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing much. Get into one of my games or tournaments. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I finally figured out, going through my phone, see anything different than what I had before, and I don't really use it for that much stuff, just people calling me. I wanted to get it fully charged so I can let it sit and see how long this battery will hold a charge for me,
Yeah.
Before it says it's good for 2 days, but that depends on how much you use it,
Mm-hmm.
But my old battery, I would barely last a few hours,
Yeah.
I charge it in the morning, then I have to recharge it in the afternoon or the evening. But, what's Kitty doing there?
It's just laying here. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was in bed this morning, and it's about 10:30. Walter started to get wild. He started to bark, jump around. I said, "What's wrong?" And I looked outside. There was the FedEx trucks there.
Oh,
I said, "Oh, my phone's here, huh?" So I got
he
up.
didn't know that though. He doesn't know what that is.
Anytime a UPS or FedEx truck pulls up in the driveway or my neighbor's driveway, he goes bonkers. For some reason, he doesn't like them trucks. I mean, of course, I brought it in. I had to take the phone out of the box, that it was shipped in, and give him the box. That settled him down. He loves boxes. I'll give everything here in the living room. By the time he's done, he's either got it in my bedroom or in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah. Yeah, you're making noises, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah.
So are you a ground level or are you on the second
ground
floor?
level.
You're on
Yeah,
the ground level? Okay.
So you got Teensy outside?
He was in here eating earlier and he's gone out.
Coon
He's
in the
out.
kitchen?
Huh?
Where's Coon?
She's in the kitchen.
She's always in the kitchen.
That's where she spends all her time, is in that kitchen. Either in the window or on top of the hot water heater. She never comes in the bed in the other rooms here. I don't know why. She used to.
And Dancer?
Oh, Dancer comes in here all the time. Usually, sometimes he's up on my lap. I
I
don't know what
finally remembered the name. I was having a hard time. I was going to ask you again, and then it came to me.
What's that?
Dancer. I always forget her name, and then it finally came to me this time.
Yeah,
Just about to ask her.
Yeah, my wife's the one that named her because the way how little, how kittens kind of dance around on their back legs and all when they're small.
Yeah.
That's why she called her Dancer.
A little unsteady on her legs.
Yeah, I've been watching these kitties and dogs YouTube videos. I have to laugh at them sometimes the way they look.
Yeah.
Either playing with each other or. And I had this one cat. He was actually just walking around on his front legs, like a human.
On his front legs or back legs?
No, he has his back legs curled up under him as he's walking along. Looked like somebody was doing a handstand, walking on their hands.
Oh, strong cat.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, I think I'll get off of here for a little while.
All right. Yeah. Let's see what I can get into.
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.